A well-known veterans advocate has dropped his defamation lawsuit against Lubbock State Representative Carl Tepper. Retired Colonel Dave Lewis originally filed the suit a week before early voting last year. Lewis accused candidate Tepper of making false and malicious statements on the radio about him and his career. At the time, Tepper declared it a political stunt by his opponent, who was supported by Lewis. And now Tepper and Lewis appear to have worked it all out in a joint statement, saying Air Force veterans should stick together. The statement also clears Colonel Lewis of any claims of illegal activity and shows Tepper regrets any insinuation of that. Colonel Lewis says he is happy to clear his name.